Storytelling with data, 6 key steps. These are: one is understand the context, know your who is the audience, what do they care, and how is this data going to affect them. Second is choose an effective visual. I'll give examples. Identify and remove clutter. Too many details distract the audience. Fourth is direct the audience focus because you want them to do what you have in your mind. Think like a designer so that every piece fits in the right place. And then whole thing has to be connected like a story because people are interested in listening to stories. The visual display has to be a very effective one. I'll give examples here. This is not effective. This has got too many slices and people cannot make out what slice refers to what. So when there are more than 3 or 4 slices, do not use a pie chart or a donut chart or a three-dimensional pie chart. It's better to use a column chart in such cases or a bar chart. So it is not suitable because there are too many slices. No inference can be given. Clutter. The first graph here is cluttered. Too many dots. And this months in January, February, etc. And the y-axis with decimal points not required. You can have 50, 100, 150. So remove the decimal point and make it only full numbers. Remove those dots so that it looks cleaner graph. Reduce the number of letters each month by using the short forms. Because people can understand Jan is January. One graph shows in some college marks results. No, this is less than high school. High school graduates, number of newly married adults, not graph, number of newly married adults per 1,000 marriage eligible adults. So combined is this much, less than high school qualified. Ultimately, you can't make out what exactly they are talking about. Whereas if you convert that into another graph, number of newly married adults per 1,000, so bachelor's degree are more, 62 in 2008, 57 as per 2012. So this is more readable graph compared to this graph. This is another very complicated graph. Too much of clutter is there. Let us see what is the clutter and how it is removed. This basically marks some school. Minimum marks in the class, maximum marks in the class, and average marks in the class. Starting from 0 to 100, and they put 100.00%. First, let us remove that, make it whole number. And repetition of year here in the x-axis, remove that, put 2001, 11, 21 to 22, and months in. Now, even this is not, you can't make out what exactly they are talking about. So make it in line graph. Minimum marks, maximum marks, average marks. See how month to month it is changing. It reduced from September to November, in this case in December, then started increasing. And the minimum marks had a very steep increase between March and April. Average also increased, maximum almost steady. So you can make out, you can point out all these details. You have a graph like this. Then you can tell average test score was the lowest in December. Test scores were the highest in June. Here, the range from minimum to max has reduced. Here the gap is more, gap is less. That means everybody is scoring almost near the mean. Test score improved in the second half of the school year. It is from here, from January onwards, it started increasing. Maybe March to June, it started increasing. So that is how you can convert that complicated graph into something which the audience can relate to. There is something known as Gestalt principles, a set of laws, how human brain perceives something in brain, how brain processes the information about various things, group similar elements, recognize patterns, and simplify complex images. So these are the six: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Emergence, proximity, continuity, closure, and common fate. We'll talk about some of them in this video. Emergence. If you look at it, each one is just a dot. There is no continuity, but just a dot. But you can make out that it is a dog. So that is what is meant by emergence. Just by this pattern, a figure emerges. Similarly, Unilever, its logo is based on various small items. When you put them together, U emerges. That is called emergence. The same data is woven into a story. So what you're talking with the quarter, this quarter, profits increased by 5%, driven by 3% rise in customer acquisition. Interestingly, this growth occurred while marketing costs fell by 10%, revealing an emergent pattern. Our focus on targeting digital ads is yielding higher ROI. So that is the lesson we want to get emerged. Higher ROI. ROI stands for return on investment than traditional methods. So this approach uncovers the deeper insight into our strategic decision. Proximity. The meaning of proximity is near, being near, nearness. Is crucial to tell because it helps the audience connect emotional and cognitively to the story. They can understand the story, they can feel the story, make an insight more relatable. For example, if you are going to discuss global warming in Mangalore, people don't know something is happening in the globe, we are not interested. But connected to how even in Mangalore, over the years, we are facing extreme heat. For example, this year, February is very hot. And last year we had unseasonal rains. Now connect that to the global warming, people are likely to pay interest. So bring it to near the audience, the experience very close to the audience. Then discuss the global issues. How proximity is used just as principle in data storytelling. Thank you very much. Prepare properly and write the examination properly.